Okay, so this is video 2 for the digital animal collage. And you can see that I've started to populate more triangles within the body of this lion. Now, you can do a couple of things here, and we're going to talk about some technique. I'm leaving space between each triangle, and this becomes more of a mosaic type of collage. A mosaic is usually done in tile, and what would be the spacing would be actual grout lines in a tile mosaic piece. So this is perfectly acceptable if you want to do something like this. If you don't want to have any space left in between, you're going to take your shapes and you can overlap them. So it still has to be, you still have to cut all these pieces, but you can see that I can move them on top and start to overlap my pieces so that I have a little bit more of a filled in look. Okay, it just depends what look you like better, whether you like it to be a little bit more open, so it looks a little bit more like a mosaic, or if you want it to be completely filled in which case you're going to overlap these shapes just like you saw me do. Now, in areas where it's smaller, what's great about these is that you can do a couple of things. Dragging from the corner of the shape will make the whole thing smaller or bigger, but still in the side in the proportion that it already was. So the shape that it already was. So I'm going to take that smaller piece and I might collage it into a smaller area to help me fill in those spaces that are just a little bit too tiny. The other thing you can do, I'm just going to paste a few more. The other thing that you can do is change the type of triangle by clicking and dragging on the other points. So if I want this triangle to be a little bit skinnier, I can click on this point and then drag that in, and then it becomes a really skinny sliver. So you can click on those points. Maybe I want it to be shorter, so I can click here and drag it in, and then it becomes a little bit shorter and squatter. So you really can manipulate the size, or the shape rather, or both, pretty good, or to get a little bit more of an accurate piece or fit to that piece. Again, the overlap being the option for you if you want to show overlap. So that's completely up to you whether or not you're showing overlap or not. One's not better than the other. It just has a different look. All right, so that covers resizing and reshaping, and then overlapping as well. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, I'm just going to place that one right there. The next thing I want to talk about is, you can see that I could take this paper that I have and just keep copying and pasting and fill the whole leg in. But when it comes to the back leg, I may want to have a slightly different pattern, but maybe in the same color, like blue. And you can see here there's a different or a darker variation in the body here than here. So what I might do is go back into my scrapbook pieces and look for something that's in a darker vein. Now, this actually is darker, so it may have been better for me to have, say, chosen something like this one here, and then use the one I'm currently using as the darker vein. So now I've got to look for not this one, sorry, using this one as my lighter one and that one as my darker one. Again, probably better. Now, I did all this work, so I want to try to find something that I can use that will show a darker variation. I may have to choose a whole different pattern completely, and that would be fine. You can use something with words on it, or even images, like these flowers could be part of the piece that you cut out. All right, so this might work as my darker piece. And it does. And we're going to, remember, go to the crop tool. This time I could still select same shape, which may help with the cohesiveness of the look of the lion if everything were done in triangles, or I could change the shape at this point if I chose to. So like maybe I want to use diamonds this time. So we're going to crop it to a diamond, and then of course shrink it up so that it will fit into the lion or whatever animal that you're choosing. And then I'm going to copy that and paste it a few times.